Facebook Live, Facebook Live. We have arrived one more time, y'all. Let's get it in.
Conference muted. Conference recording started.
When I think about it, chiming in, this is Watchman Derrick Yisrael, from his Pastor Derrick on the Order What I See the Switzerland prayer line. Hallelujah. On this 29th day in September 2025, we back line. Hallelujah. We back at it like a fanatic with the Two Agendas series. Hallelujah. Y'all, so let's get it in. If I would have remembered the theme scripture, and I don't have time right now, I would take y'all to it, but it's all going to be the same lesson for sure. Yeah, permit. So go with me to Mark 8. We definitely own Two Agendas. Good to see you in here, Elder Yosef, holding down the conference line like you do faithfully. We got my mom in here. We got Matayahu Dawson here. We got my mother-in-law Joyce in here. We got my big brother Gene in here. And my pal in the building. What's up with it, Horton? Good to see you in here, man, once again. Two Agendas. Hallelujah. Thank you, Yahuwah. Teresa, what's up with it? We finna get it, y'all. Mark 8. I want y'all to see this. Mark 8:31. Look at this. Oh, always, Horton. You part of the family now. You a missable member. You know what I'm talking about. Mark 8:31. Look what this say. Danielle Descendo. Mark 8:31. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests. The chief priests? Yep, the chief priests. The scribes? Not the scribes too. Right? And be killed. And after 3 days rise again. Y'all see that? Let me read that in the NIV. Just to break it down. I want y'all playing with me, right? Look what it say. He said he then began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law. Huh? You see that? And he must be killed and after 3 days rise again. I'm still in NIV. And he spoke plainly about this. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. And when Yahushua turned and looked at his disciples, he rebuked Peter. Get behind me, Satan, he said. You do not have in mind the concerns of Yahuwah, but merely human concerns. Y'all see that? Two Agendas, part 2. Y'all see that? Y'all with me? There's two agendas jumping off. Right in our face. And when the Bible talks about rightly dividing the word of truth, that's what we learn to do. Rightly divide the word of truth. There's a rightly divide in the word. I'm not talking about just the world. There's two agendas. There's a worldly agenda and there's a Yali agenda. What people have a problem with is separating the worldly agenda in the Yali agenda. They don't have no problem with knowing the difference between the assembly of Yahuwah and the assembly at the strip club. That's easier. That's easier to decipher. You know, you go to the Pride Parade and you see that gang, and then you go to a holy convention and you see that you could I see the difference. Over here they got a bunch of paint on with leather and body parts hanging out and looking all weird with wigs and you look over here, they're fully dressed and praising. I see the difference. That's easy. That's an easy decipher. But there's two agendas right here in what we read. Yeah, there's two agendas clearly. It's so clear to the Messiah, at least, that he looked at Peter and said, get behind me, Satan. Was he calling him the devil? No. Satan means adversary. What he was saying is that spirit that's coming out of you is of the enemy. It's the spirit of the devil. Well, let's examine what was the spirit of the devil. He was favoring carnality, natural stuff. Right? What he was favoring, listen. What he was favoring, he was down with Yahushua. On some homeboy type stuff. Jasmine, Cornejo, Lester. Y'all listening? He was down with, man, I ain't gonna let that happen to you, man. You my dude. Is there anything wrong with that? The Bible teaches that if you give a prophet a glass of water in the name of a prophet, you shall receive a prophet's reward. What does that mean? That means if you look out for the man of Yah, right? You look out for the man of Yah, the woman of Yah, based on the fact that they belong to Yah, they work for Yah, you shall receive a reward equivalent to a prophet. There's going to be a response from Yah for you based on you showing favoritism towards his people. That's that Abrahamic blessing that was established clearly in Genesis, the 12th chapter. I'll bless them that bless you, and I'll curse them that curse you. Do you think that blessing was on the Messiah? Do you think that? Do you think that if you gave the Messiah a glass of water and then the prophet, you should receive a prophet's reward? I believe that 100%. I believe that Peter's wanting to save him, protect him, fight for him, go down with him. I think that's super admirable, Nicole Robinson. But it goes deeper than that. You can miss out trying to serve Yah the wrong way. You could try to serve Yah. The Bible teaches that no flesh shall glory in his sight. Pull up a chair. We in here, y'all. No flesh shall glory in his sight. Nicole Robinson. Jake. No flesh shall glory in his sight. You're not going to come beating your chest in Yah's face. I said you're not going to beat your chest for doing good deeds. That's what it's talking. You're not going to be able to beat your chest for doing good deeds. You do what he tells you to do. You with me, Don Deems? It's a whole nother level to this thing, Nicole Robinson, Teresa, Demeanor, Don Deem. It's a whole nother level to this. And it is a spiritual level. Who would walk up to Peter? Which one of the disciples walk up to Peter and say, man, no, man, you got to let him go die? Which one would say that? Nah, none of them, because none of them did. It took the knowledge that was only in the Messiah to be able to differentiate between the will of Yah and the will of man. Still the same today. It takes Yah to discern of whether what you're doing is for the flesh or for the spirit. Yeah. You can do the right thing the wrong way. Prime example. The right thing was to have the Messiah's back. The right thing was wanting him safe and protected. That's the right thing. But he did it the wrong way. Why? Because he was going to protect his flesh, and that's not what's supposed to be protected. We got to learn to protect one another in the Ruah. Yeah, me agreeing with you ain't necessarily right. On some homeboy stuff, I can agree with you when you're wrong. On some homeboy stuff, but y'all ain't getting down like that. If you wrong, you wrong. That's why the Bible say, faithful are the wounds of a friend. And this friend is a Yahweh friend, a true friend. That agrees with the things of Yah over this fleshly stuff. Are y'all with me? Listen, Mark 8:31, for y'all that didn't hear me. I started teaching a tiny bit earlier today because I got to go a little bit early. Y'all with me? And I don't want to cheat the people of y'all. Never out the Ruah, out the word. No, the word got to come. I got a job to do. Hallelujah. I'm blessed to be able to do it. I'm in reading out of NIV. I'm going to start again. 8:31. Look what it say. He then began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law. Why are they going to do that? Because he was going against it, like the people today that don't know how to rightly divide the word, misinterpret. He kept it to take us from abundant. He had to fulfill everything that was written of him, including the commandments on stone. The ceremonial law, he had to keep it all. He kept it all too. Yeah, because it all was pointing to him in the first place. I said all of it was pointing to him at the first place. Everything they did was showing what he was going to do when the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. And we was going to behold his glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Yeah, his flesh, it was the flesh of Israel, the only son. The only son. He was born to the same bloodline, same flesh of Abraham. Yeah, he was the fulfillment of it, though. They was it too. The apple of his eye. They it too. He's the fulfillment of it. Y'all listening? And when he fulfilled it, now we can walk in the Ruah. Y'all listening? Listen. Mark 8:31. He began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed. Listen, not only just treated bad, they're going to kill him. And he must be. He must be killed, and after 3 days, he's going to rise again. Because death can't keep him in the ground. Because he never sinned. Because he was the perfect son. Because he obeyed the word down to the minute stroke of the Hebrew pen. Right? So he was going to rise again after 3 days. He spoke plainly about this. It's finna go down. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. Tell him, no, you ain't finna do that. Was he intentionally sinning? No, he was down. You know how many people that's down with Yah and they theologically wrong? You know how many people like that? Oh, it's plenty of people like that. Theologically wrong. Yeah. Boy, I almost want to go there. But if I'm pushed a little bit more, I will. But I'm going to stay right here for right now. So the 33rd verse teaches us. But when Yahushua turned and looked at his disciples, they listening to what he talking about. School is in. He looked at his disciples and he rebuked Peter. Get behind me, Satan. What strong language? Because we don't know how satanic it is to do that. We don't even have a clue. Because man don't see as y'all see. Man look on the outer appearance, y'all look at the heart. Man looking on the outer appearance is a man's vantage is to preserve his natural life. And that's righteous to a man. Who want to just die? A man will fight to save his life. And if he love you, he'll fight to save your life too. Don't even knowing that the real important part is your spiritual life. Don't have a clue. They'll go against the Ruah. They'll go against the word. They'll go against Yah to save your natural life. And then after they succeed, they feel good about it. But how do Yah feel? If you had the ear to hear what the Ruah says to the ecclesia, you'd heard Yah say, get behind me, Satan. You're on the wrong agenda. I said it's two agendas. This is part 2, y'all. I said it's 2 agendas. Which agenda you on? See, it sounds like an oxymoron to read a scripture that said, faithful are the wounds of a friend. Faithful and wounds. It sounds like a oxymoron, especially when you say the person that did it was a friend. Faithful? Faithful is good for you. Wounds? How is wounds good for you? When the wounds put your flesh in check and elevates you in the Ruah, in the spirit. Faithful are the wound. You wounded. You're wounded. In the flesh. Your feelings is hurt. You with me, Candace Cooper? Your feelings is hurt. Because someone told you, you can't be committing adultery. You can't be, I don't care how he treating you. You can't do that. Ma'am, you can't sleep with her. But I was born like this. You're not born with sex on your mind. What you mean? Some people is attracted to violence. You can't go around killing people. Some people is attracted to animals. Love their puppy. You can't sleep with your puppy. I was born like, what you talking about? If you convinced you was born like this, we all got to be born again. Those that like the puppy, those that are liars, those that like to sleep with multiple partners. I was born like this. I get it. We were all born in sin and shaped in iniquity. You got to be born again. I said it's 2 agendas, y'all. You up in here, Cooper? You's a trooper. Listen. Mark 8:31, I am reading out of the NIV. He began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed and after three days rise again. He spoke plainly about this. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. And when Yahushua turned and looked at the disciples, he rebuked Peter. Get behind me, Satan. Folks like to cry and get all emotional. No, you're going against the Ruah, though. You're trying to get your way in the flesh. You're moving the needle. You're moving the marker. Don't do that. That spirit is of the devil. Manipulating. Y'all listening? 33rd verse. And when Yahushua turned and looked at the disciples, he rebuked Peter. Wouldn't you suppose what he said was good? Well, it wasn't. It was good to people. But he said, get behind me, Satan. He said, you do not have in mind the concerns of Yah, but merely human concerns. That's a whole nother thing right there, y'all. I'm trying to show y'all something. Let me see. Let me show y'all this. Go with me to Mark right quick. Mark 10. 32. Mark 10. And they were in the way going up to Jerusalem. And Yahushua went before them, and they were amazed. And as they followed, they were afraid, because there was a hit out on him in Jerusalem. And they were amazed as they followed, and they were afraid. And he took again the 12 and began to tell them what things should happen unto him. Same conversation type thing going on. This is the vibe he on, right? So in the 33rd verse, look what he say. Saying, behold, we go up into Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be delivered unto the chief priests. See, here we go. And unto the scribes. There's a hit out on him. And they shall condemn him to death. They was having serious conversation, wasn't they? And shall deliver him into the Gentiles. They was going to turn him over to the Romans. Who was going to do it? His people? Didn't John 1 say he came unto his own received him not? Yeah. But many as received him, them he gave them power to become the sons of Yah. That's a whole nother thing. That's another agenda. The ones that turned him over to the Romans, they had an agenda. It was a Torah agenda. It was a carnal agenda. That agenda was mixed with the Roman agenda. The Romans had an agenda too. But so did the law keepers. And the Roman agenda and the law keepers' agenda married right there. They married. They both wasn't cool with the Messiah. Dave, Javi, y'all with me? Their agendas, the agenda of the Yahudim married the agenda of the Romans. Even though we know how to decipher the Roman agenda from Israel's agenda. We know how to decipher. We know how to decipher to a certain extent. We know how to decipher what it looks like to be a believer versus a non-believer. Rome has an agenda which represents sin, idol worship, turn up, sex, and violence, colonizing, conquering, enslaving, That agenda is filled with all kind of celebrations of other gods like Christmas and Easter. See, y'all gotta be ready for this level, but it's painted as fun. It's painted like Disneyland, but behind the scenes, it's painted like you got a record deal, but you actually turned into a slave. It's painted when you pull up in the limousine and the lights, camera, action. It looks so fun, but behind the scenes, they turned you into a whore. Yeah. You getting mistreated. They got men on their knees. Yeah, whenever they please. It's going down. That's the Roman agenda. Well, that agenda was married to the Yahudim's agenda. Because both agendas is against Yah's agenda. Oh, I'm trying to show y'all. The 33rd verse say, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem. Look what it say. And the Son of Man shall be delivered unto the chief priest. Who are they delivering him over to? The chief priest, this religious cat. They're supposed to be down with the things of Yah. But not on a level that the Messiah was on. That was a whole nother agenda. That was one the chief priest couldn't understand. He had on the wardrobe that the law Torah told him to have on, but he didn't understand the meaning of the wardrobe. The wardrobe he wore was symbolic of the Ruah, of the Spirit. He didn't have a clue. That's what you call having a form of yahliness, but denying the power thereof. He don't know nothing about. Chief priest don't know what I'm talking about right now. Moray don't know nothing I'm talking about right now. Moray would chime off right now. Make sure his people don't listen to me. Don't get it. And the scribes. Yeah. The scribe to the teachers. The teachers of the law. The scribes. Don't have a clue on what I'm talking about. Yeah. And they shall condemn him to death. Who's they? The Romans and the Yahudim. They on the same page. Because this is on some old ruah. This is a whole nother agenda that the carnal mind cannot perceive. A natural-minded person can't perceive this. They don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Natural stuff, good deed stuff, friendly stuff, Casper the Friendly Ghost stuff. When I start talking ruah, right over their head, right over their wig, you dig? Can't see it. Can't see it, can't be it. That's what the Messiah was trying to tell Nicodemus. Except you're born again, you can't see what I'm talking about. Then he went on the same passage in John 3 and said, if you're not born again, you can't enter. You can't see it, nor can you be it. Two agendas. We already won. Or we already begun. Put a 1. If it's true, put a 2. Are y'all with me? So, let's look at this thing. 33. Let me read 32 again. And they were in the way going to Jerusalem, and Yahushua went before them, and they were amazed, and as they followed, they were afraid. Why? Their flesh is afraid. Didn't John 6:63 said it's the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profits nothing? How many of y'all trying to please your flesh as opposed down with the things of Yah? How many of y'all working real hard to set up your flesh? Now compare how hard you work for your flesh towards how you treat Yah, the things of Yah, the house of Yah. Do a comparison analysis. How many of y'all is living for your flesh? Look at it. Look at all what you do. Look at how you treat your flesh, and what you doing. Now slide that to the side. Now let's deal with the things of Yah. Can you see the difference? You ain't that deceived, I know. Can you see the difference? Can you? 33rd verse. No, I'm still in 32. Latter clause. And he took again the 12. They're going into Jerusalem where there's a hit out on him. And he took the 12 and he began to tell them what things should happen on him. He telling them this is finna go down. My flesh is in trouble right now. My natural life is bad. It's the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profits nothing. My flesh is not finna do too well what's finna go down right now. This is what he telling them. So the 33rd verse says, saying, behold, we go up into Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be delivered unto the chief priests, unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death. They finna kill me. And shall deliver him to the Gentiles. That's the Romans. The Greeks and the Romans. They got me. They finna get me. primarily Rome. Y'all with me? So the 34th verse teaches us, and they shall mock him, and shall scourge. They finna do him in. And they shall mock him, they shall scourge him. That's whip him with them whips with that steel mallet at the end. Because when it hits you, it pop, and then that steel part rip your flesh off your back. It takes chunks of meat when you pull it back. You talking about pain. Scourge him. Y'all look it up. And they even spit on him. They disrespected, disrespectful. Why is it so descriptive? All these horrific sounding descriptions should wake you up spiritually of how Yah feels about sin and the disregard of your flesh, which is so important to you. I said it's two agendas, y'all. See, what's important to you is finna get mutilated when the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Isaiah, 53? Said it pleased Yah to bruise him. He took his wrath out on the flesh because of sin and how horrific it is. And folks run around living in it. And then they try to solve it through having a form of yahliness, but deny the power. They try to solve it through natural means, religious feats, being a nice person, thinking that works. That works to you. That works to you. You think that's cool. Peter thought it was cool to tell the Messiah, "No, man, I'm not finna let you go down there and die." That sounded real admirable, didn't it? That sounded like, man, that's his friend. That dude is down with him. That's what it sounded like to a carnal mind. I'm sure it sounded like that to the rest of the disciple. But the Messiah turned around and said, "Get behind me, Satan." How deep is that? So the more descriptive we get about the torment that they about to put on his flesh, on the Son, should give you revelation when you're not permitted to speak against it. If you're standing there with him, you got to be like, man, Yah's will be done. Yah's will be done. It was so horrific that the Messiah himself said, "I would that this cup pass from me." He asked him 3 times, "I would that this cup pass from me. I would that this cup pass from me." But then he concluded, "Nevertheless, not my will, not the will of the flesh, but thy will be done." Because the flesh is forfeited. The flesh is the lamb. The flesh is the sacrifice. That's why the Messiah said, "If any man come after me, let him deny himself. Take up the torture stake and follow me." You got to be able to tell yourself no in order to grow, in order for the fruit to show. Oh, I'm talking. If it's true, put it 2. Oh, I know I'm teaching now. I feel the ruah now, see. Do I feel it in my flesh? Nah. Listen. Flesh ain't got nothing to do with this. So the 34th verse teaches us, "And they shall mock him, and they shall scourge him, and spit on him, kill him. And the 3rd day he shall rise again." Y'all see that? So the 35th verse says, "And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came unto him, saying, Master, we would that thou shouldest do for us whatsoever we desire. And he said unto them, What would ye that I should do for you, fellas? Talk to me." And they said unto him, "Grant us that we may sit one on the right hand and one on the left hand in thy glory." Y'all see that? Why'd they say that? Because they still was carnal. They don't have a clue of what to say or to do. They still thinking carnal. They was carnal just like Peter. When Peter said, no, it ain't going to happen. When they found out it was going to happen, they said, well, man, we might as well cash in and get them 2 chairs next to him. Because he talking spiritually. Having a form of godliness is real heavy, y'all. There very well could be some people listening to me now. I see you in here, Pete. Henson, good to see you in here, fam. But there could be some people in here now listening to me don't get what I'm teaching. It's over their head. In Romans 8, it says the carnal mind is enmity against Yah. It's not subject to the law of Yah, neither indeed can be. Now, when it says neither indeed can be, I'm trying to tell y'all the truth here some more. Y'all listening? Neither indeed can be mean it's impossible. There's a state of mind that's impossible for them to understand what I'm teaching. They were under that influence. I'm telling you some more truth. They were under that influence. Peter, when he found out that the Messiah was going to go be murdered, he couldn't comprehend that. There's nothing that could be said to him to make him say, oh, okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, you should go do that. Nothing in it. Nothing. There was nothing in him. You know why? He still was under the influence of the first Adam nature. He still was up under the influence of his mother's birth. He still was natural minded. And the natural man received not the things of the Spirit of Yah. They are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them because they're spiritually discerned. There's no way in the world he was going to agree with that. Man don't see as Yah see. Man look on the outer appearance, Yah look at the heart. There was nowhere in the world he was going to say, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, go be mutilated and scourged and beat down and murdered. Yeah, go do that. Yeah. What a friend you are, huh? If you say, yeah, go do that. I said, I'm trying to show y'all something. When he was talking to the ruler of the Yahudim, call them the Jews, right? When he was talking to a ruler of the Jews, that was Nicodemus. He said, except you're born again, you can't even see what I'm talking about. And it's deeper. Natural, if a person was to enter to the kingdom and say they're going to obey the word and they get baptized, right? You can get baptized in the water, go down dry and come up wet, the same person. If the spiritual operation didn't happen. And not too many people allow the spiritual operation to happen. Because if you allow the spiritual operation to happen, you're going to be looked on as a sucker. Some people love themselves. They still got their own agenda. That's why they don't give like they should. In fact, this is a sore topic for them when I bring it up. It offends them because they're carnal, right? Folks, come be faithful to a ministry. No, I got things to do. I'm going to move and shake. They can't comprehend it. It would go right over their wig, you dig? Period. It's offensive to them. They'll consider on finding another ministry that don't talk like me. And I get it. And I'm going to keep talking like this too. Believe that. Y'all listening? There's no way in the world, get spiritual with me just for a moment, y'all. There's no way in the world they was going to agree with him going to be murdered. Wasn't going to happen. Why? Because I was talking to you about the impossibility in Romans 8th chapter. The carnal mind is enmity against Yah. It's not subject to the law of Yah. Neither indeed can be. It can't. The only way you can perceive the things of Yah is if you divorce yourself. If you're baptized into his death, you gave up your life completely. Yeah, I said it because I read it. You got to be baptized into his death to rise up to walk in the newness of life. Period. That's when you can walk in the Ruah. Yup. People hate on you. You don't hate on them. People hate you. You love them. People do wrong. You still gonna do right. Because you don't get your orders from people, nor do you get your orders from your emotions, nor you get your orders from your flesh. So your flesh was baptized into his death. Now you free to rise up to walk in the newness of life. For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we should be also in the likeness of his resurrection. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth you should not serve sin, for he that is dead is freed from sin. You're dead, baby Bubba. Hug one another. Yeah, it's over. You've been bought with a price, and your life is no longer your own. That's when he can use you. They were in a state. Now, you want me to give them an excuse? Because I will. Because y'all gave it to him, because it's true. Their excuse was he hadn't died yet. They weren't filled with the Ruah yet. But we are. Supposed to be anyway. Yeah, they were still under Torah. That's why he kept the law. Because they still was under Torah. They were still under the contract that was signed with the blood of animals. They weren't filled with the Ruah yet. The Ruah was found fashioned as a man, fulfilling everything that was written of him. He couldn't die for them until he fulfilled everything that was written of him. He couldn't die for them until he bailed them out. He went into the wilderness to fulfill all the mistakes they made when they was in the wilderness. He had to clean up their mess. So he met the devil for a 40-day showdown. 40 day and 40 night. Whooped his tail spiritually. Put the word on him and told him to kick rocks. Get thee behind me, Satan. Kick rocks. Battle's over. Your teeth missing. If you can see, put a 3. Beet juice, y'all. And ginger. Whew. If you can see, put a 3. I see you in there, Byron. Yahushua. Are y'all with me, mayors? How much time I got? I got about 10 minutes, y'all. Yeah. 9 minutes. Stay with me, Tina. Listen. And so, they asked, right, 37th verse, Mark 10 and 38 now. And Yahushua said unto them, so you want to sit on my right hand, my left hand. Look what he say. You know not what you ask. Y'all heard that? He knew who he was talking to. Right? They didn't mean no harm. They about the things of Yah. They just carnal. As a watchman, as a pastor, I deal with people all the time that don't know what they're talking about. I don't say that. You're not supposed to. You gotta grow up in this thing. I deal with people that not doing what they should do. It's super clear to me, and they feel I be talking to them, trying to help them. They might not take it like I'm trying to help them, though. They might take it like I'm trying to get over or something. Funny, huh? But anyway, as much as I give and as much as I do, they watch me too. But still, I guess I'm trying to get over. But listen, but when you try to help people to get them over the hump, you gotta. It's 2 agendas. You gotta switch agendas, and it's spiritual. It's easy to see. Anyone that's born again, I'm not talking about this religious stuff that we be seeing. I'm saying when a person is born again, you can see it. It's no conversation. You can see it. It just happened. Boom. They just different. I seen a guy, he was a white guy too, walk up to some essays, some Spanish folk, gangsters too. And he walked up to them, and his spiel was something like, ask him, did they know the terms he was using? Ask him, I ain't going to get into their terms. I'm just going to tell you what happened. But he was asking them if they knew the Most High, right? So they slowed down. They was minding their business. They slowed down, looking at each other like, why is this dude even talking to us? And then they more or less was on some lightweight. Yeah. And then he said, you're serving him, and they lightweight on some whatever. And he said, the 10 Commandments, and then he quoted them, and then then he said, so how could you be a fornicating, lying, woo-to-woo? I mean, he said it. You know, how could you be breaking this? That makes you a liar and an idolater and a woo. How could they stopped, looked at each other, surrounded him, and was like contemplating? He stood there with absolutely no fear at all and kept talking. And them jokers, especially the leader, end up receiving the Most High. Stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying it got to be that extreme. I'm just saying when a person is born again, they different. But see, what I'm really teaching y'all, what he got me teaching y'all is the difference between self-righteousness and his righteousness. Because self-righteousness fall up under one of the agendas, and it's not Yah's. It is not Yah. I tried to show y'all in this lesson, particularly, how Peter was willing to die. He even proved it again. Remember in the Garden of Gethsemane, when they came, they was outnumbered, outgunned, out everything. Peter still pulled his sword out and cut that dude's ear off. He was ready to hit the pavement with the Messiah. That's a loyalty to the. We got folks that ran with us, wasn't even near that solid. We had jokers that would have ran. Soon as boom, somebody got hit, dropped. Your best friend, he hit the fence, left you. Not Peter. He had a loyalty that he was loyal to the soil. Woo! Loyal to the soil. Peter was, but the true interpretation was, get behind me, Satan. He said that to Messiah like, nah, I ain't going down. He said, get behind me, Satan. That's levels that we need to be at. I'm telling y'all the truth. We ain't gonna play the game. Y'all with me? Hey, come on, y'all. Let me get ready to get out of here because I gotta go. So, they had asked to sit on the right hand and on the left hand, right? In the 38th verse. No, in the 37th verse. So in the 38th verse, Yahushua said on them, you know not what you ask. Can you drink of the cup that I drink of? And be baptized with the baptism I'm baptized with? See, this is a whole nother level. Y'all know he's not talking about water baptism. Y'all not talking about, he not talking about that little cup that they be having on communion. The little cup with the little cracker. See, all that old stuff. Get that out of here. Get spiritual. Listen. He said, can you drink of the cup that I drink of? Can you? You want to sit next to me? Can you be baptized with the baptism that I'm baptized with? He said, and they said unto him, we can. And Yahushua said unto them, you shall indeed drink of the cup I drink of. You called it. And with the baptism I'm baptized with, withal, you shall be baptized. Did y'all hear that? Who ready for that? Did you hear what he said? Did you know anyone that's with him for real is with this? And they're going to be loyal to the soil? This is a level that, folks, please. This is I'm gonna tell you what it looked like though. This is somebody that like read their Bible all the time, meditate in the Word all the time, forgive all the time, because you're gonna have plenty of reasons to forgive. People gonna cross you and do you wrong. I used to be like with a bad actor, and I used to like really take up for my flesh. Feel me? You cross my flesh, I'm definitely gonna cross yours. Type of a dude. Right? And now I'm not. Jokers do all kind of stuff that ain't cool. I look and shake my head, boy. I get rubbed the wrong way. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? But I ain't bust nobody in the mouth and start cussing. I ain't, feel me? And I let it go. Next time I see him, it's like they didn't even do it. I'm good, man. Feel me? And I ain't gonna lie, it get bumpy, but this is the life I chose. I ain't gonna do the fake thing. That's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. I cannot hold a grudge. I will not. I didn't appreciate what you did, but I'm bought with a price. It's good. Let's just keep going. I'm gonna keep praying for you, trying to work with you. Can I work with you? Some people, I can't work with them, which actually blesses me to be able to get the heck away from them because this ain't cool. But you can't say I didn't try. You can't say I didn't take a licking and keep on ticking. And if the joker came down, right, I'd allow it. You feel me? But it's levels to this. Can have sex with somebody that want to have sex with you, but you won't do it. Yeah. There's levels to this. Can drink, but y'all say don't, so you won't. It's just real simple. Help people that wouldn't help me all the time. I didn't gave to people that should support the ministry, and they won't. Not like they should. And I gave stuff to them. Way more than what they gave to me. It ain't in them. It just ain't in them. I deal with that all the time. This is not the Derrick show either. I'm not feeling sorry for myself, nor am I doing this for kudos. I'm trying to show y'all there's levels to this. Whether I'm lying or telling the truth, I'm telling you the level. Because I don't need no glory, feel me? I'm not doing it for that. I'd quit a long time ago if it was for that. Back to my point. And I gotta go. But look what this say. So in the 38th verse, he's still teaching. Look what he's teaching. And you said to them, you know not what you asked for. Okay. Can you drink of the cup that I drink of? Can you? And be baptized with the baptism that I'm baptized with? Oh, you can do that too? He said, well, check this out, cat daddy. They said unto him, we can. Yahushua said unto them, you shall. Don't get it twisted. Because these jokers died. They got killed. Is y'all listening? You shall indeed drink of the cup that I drink of. And with the baptism I'm baptized withal shall you all be baptized. Every last one of y'all. His disciples they got the business for y'all. But to sit on my right hand or my left is not in mine to give. It shall be given to them for whom it is prepared. Y'all heard that? I'm going to park right there. Because what we're going to be dealing with is the two agendas. And I'm aiming at it hard, y'all. I don't want y'all to get caught up in religion. You need true relationship. Having a form of godliness don't help you. I said having a form of godliness don't help you. Y'all heard the word today? Go finish cussing if that's what you do. Because you just got a form of godliness denying the power thereof. Who you sleeping with? Who you sleeping with? How many you sleeping with? Who you sleeping with? Who'd you say? What you doing? Y'all listening? What ministry you support? Oh, you don't? Oh, that's your money, huh? I hear you. Okay. Who you fellowship with? Oh, it's you and God against the world. Oh, they crooked, huh? Everybody? Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. It's two agendas. Which one you on? How many of y'all want to be on y'all's agenda? Put a 4 in there. You ready to walk away from your agenda? Satan's agenda. The world's agenda. One more time. Your agenda. And switch to y'all's agenda. Put a 4 in there. I gotta go, y'all. 2 agendas. Put 5 on it. Let's pray. Spirit living Elohim, we love you and thank you for this opportunity to come before you. Humble know how. We're in your presence because we love you and we need you desperately. Continue to illuminate your children, quicken us, make us alive till you arrive to come get us. Make your word plain. Only you can do it. Make your word plain, for we need you. Continue the transformation process by the renewing of our mind. we'll be able to prove what's good, acceptable, in your perfect will in these last and evil days. We need you. We love you. We choose you. In the matchless name of Yahushua, we humbly pray. Hallelujah. Salah. That was the lesson for the day. I pray we all continue to obey everything the Most High say. Okay? Okay. All right, y'all. Continue to pray for me. You know, as I pray for y'all, I got to get out of here. I had to run. I taught a little early. I did come on a little early, so a lot of y'all didn't catch the beginning. That was on time, too, but I had to do a little early because I had to leave a little early, and I definitely didn't want to shortchange the people of Yah. I plan to be back on. Y'all can dial the conference line because we still going to be taking commentary and all that old fun stuff. 302-202-1102, extension 815648. Keep that number because it's noonday prayer. We like to get it in, y'all. Y'all continue to pray for me, right? Y'all be. Thank everybody for the share button. Share your platform. Truth the word. Think about it. Tag. That's how I invite folks to come on in. Think about the finance support this ministry. If you grow here, you should sow here. That's Yah's will for your life. Y'all be Baruch and Barak Shalom. I'm gone.